Oy. I have to figure this out. I feel like it was over here in the front somewhere. Yeah, this will be interesting to figure out. Hey besties, it's Lisa Marie. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. And if you're coming back, I love and appreciate you so much. Today is a very special video. It's a collaboration with some of my friends. Today's video is Furniture Flip 101. I'll tell you a little more about that later. Until then, let's get started. I have this little 3-drawer dresser here. You can see, you can look at that. Not too great, huh? So I'm gonna refinish this. I'm definitely a beginner. I've only painted furniture. I haven't really done much else to it before. I'm gonna try some maybe fun things with this one and we'll see what happens. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean it. Got a sponge right here. Got a little bit of simple clean. I'm not gonna use a lot of it because I don't want any residue, but you know, it's dusty in places. I just emptied it out. We'll move on from there. We're basically gonna be learning together. So let's have fun. So remember when I showed you that the drawers were looking kind of rickety? Well, these guys are not in very good shape. If you notice on this side in particular. So it looks like I'm gonna have to reinforce those. This side they seem pretty solid, but I'm gonna make sure, because these drawers were definitely rickety. So I think that would look really cool for this to be, if I pack up a little here, just to have some drawers and maybe have like an open shelf area. I really only use 2 of the drawers right now, so that would be easy to do, and then it could kind of be decorative too. This piece right now is gonna go into our bedroom, which is not a farmhouse style as much. It's more coastal. I just find the beach really relaxing. I'm just thinking about that right now. In the meantime, this is all cleaned up now. It's time to remove the knobs and anything else that needs to come off of this. Oh, it looks like we have a little visitor over here. Sophie, have you come to visit? Yep, say hi, Sophie. Yep. I am going to be doing something on top here with some skewers to create like a really cool texture. I am going to sand this. And then brush off all the sawdust. Now we've got it sanded, and I found these skewers. There were 100 of them at Dollar General for only $1. So that definitely beats the Dollar Tree. I got quite a few of these packs, so I'm gonna go ahead and play with this. I'm gonna use my square to take measurements, and then I'm gonna cut out my skewer sticks. I'm looking at these natural lines here and I'm thinking about like the look of reclaimed wood, which is coastal. And so I think I may use the skewers to fill in these gaps to divide, and then I can do different colored reclaimed wood, driftwood looking, you know that look, right? That coastal beachwood look. And the colors I think will go perfect with my room. It's gonna be easier too. So this is a beginning type of a thrift flip, so I need to keep it more like that. I always tend to go way over the top. Let's rein it in and work on that. For this, I'm going to use Pool and Celery by Waverly. That's chalk paint. And then the Rust-Oleum Linen White chalk paint, a mister, and a foam brush. I'm going to take my foam brush and I dipped it in water and then kind of squeezed it out, but it's still pretty wet. And the reason is I want to do more of a white wash with the white chalk paint to start off with. And I can also spray it down with my little mister to keep it thin enough. So like, let me show you, even with the water on the brush, this is still pretty white. So I'm going to spray it. And hopefully, yeah, there we go. That's gonna thin it out even more. And then we can, because I wanna see the wood through. This is just gonna be like a base coat here before I add the color. Yeah, and I'll just keep spraying a little bit of water here and there. See, I haven't even re-dipped my brush yet because the water is making this spread even further. See that wood grain right through there? I don't know if you can, but it's definitely there. You know, it's really what you like. So if you want it more white, you wouldn't do as much of the water. If you want it a little bit more of the color showing and less of the white, obviously you're gonna wanna do more of the water. So you're just, what a whitewash is really just washing down a paint color with water, and that's why it's called a whitewash. Even if the color isn't white, you would still do it the same way. Yeah, I think keeping this wet is making all the difference. And then every so often I'm just adding a little teeny bit of the white chalk paint to my foam brush. So question for you guys. When you use a foam brush, you know, eventually they kind of wear out. Do you save the little wooden piece? I save them every single time. And then I use them to make legs on things, or if I ever need some little pieces, I can just cut them. So definitely let me know in the comments what you do with yours, or do you just throw them away? So now I want to make sure everything's going in one direction now that I've got this covered. I don't want to see anything other than the lines going straight across. So I always do this right at the end. I go like all the way across with my brush, and that way it looks really nice and everything goes in the same direction, especially when you have a wood grain. Not worrying about the grooves because I'm going to be covering those with the skewers. And now that it's not quite as close to the camera, you can get a better look. I've whitewashed all the way around and parts of the inside. And there's the top. You can see the wood grain better now. In that other shot, it was just too close to the camera. So now I'm going to take my Pool Color Chalk Paint by Waverly, and I'm going to water it down a little bit. And then I'm going to start with a plank right here. Oh yeah, that's perfect. See how it's just slightly see the color. Oh, that's beautiful. That looks perfect, like coastal look that I'm going for. As I mentioned earlier, today is a collaboration with 3 of my YouTube friends, and we are all doing furniture flips from a beginning standpoint and styling them as well. In the playlist, you will see Kristen K. She is so adorable, so talented, and does amazing flips. You will love her channel. Then there's Leonette from DIY Beauty on Purpose, and this girl can take something old and battered and turn it into a piece of art. You've got to check her out. And then there's Allie from Actually Allie DIY, and she has such a cool vibe. Think XO McKenna, and just very hip and stylish, and I love what she makes. You really won't want to miss any of their videos. Don't forget to go down and look at the playlist in my description box. You will love everything that my friends have created. And if you're coming over from one of the other channels, welcome. I'm very happy to have you here. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you'll consider subscribing and joining for future videos. Hope to see you then. I have some contact paper from the Target Dollar Spot, and I've already cut it to size, pretty close. And then what I'm going to do is peel back just the top portion, lay it down so it's already in the right direction, in the right spot. And I'm going to slowly pull the backing paper out from underneath as I smooth on top to get rid of any bubbles or wrinkles. And I'm going to speed it up, but I'm just going to continue the same process all the way till the entire side is covered. I'm going to do this to both sides of the drawer. I'm going to use my brayer that I got from Amazon and smooth it out and make sure I really got all the bubbles. I love this tool for this kind of stuff and decoupage. If you hear me say that I got something at Amazon and you are interested in that particular thing, down in my description box is a link to my Amazon store, and I hope you'll go there and check it out. I'm going to take a nail file and just in a downward motion go straight across the edge, and then it will just come loose so easily. It's a very nice clean edge, and I love doing it this way. I'm going to do that to all the edges on both sides, and then here it is finished. And then I'm going to take that same contact paper and measure the inside of the drawer to cut a piece to fit right there. Same procedure to put it on, and then I will have a nice lined drawer. I'll use my brayer to smooth that out once I have it all attached. And then I will take a blade and go around the edges and make sure I cut away any excess that's going up the sides. Next, I'm going to use my miter shears from Amazon, and I'm going to cut the skewers into the sizes that I needed. I've already pre-measured. I'm going to put some painter's tape down so the sticky side is up, lay my skewers on it. I'm going to spray them with the water, and then I'm going to whitewash those as well. Now I'm going to use some wood glue, and I'm going to attach my skewers into all of the grooves on the front. And I've had to cut different size pieces to make that work. I'm going to file the edges away so there's no pointy edges. And that's going to be a wrap for tonight because I'm tired. Well, it's another day. Unfortunately, it's raining again. I've been wanting to come out here and sand this thing because it's too big to sand in the house, and it's been raining. And now look, you guys, this is the space I have. You can see on the ground, that's where it's dry. So that's where the sanding is going to have to happen. So here we are, and now we're going to sand around the outside. We got to shore up some of the inside, the drawer on the top, and then 2 baskets on each of these. And I'm going to have to put a little platform there to hold the basket. So I'll just show you as I go. Alrighty. I just got a small sander here, Black & Decker, nothing special. I think it's just an orbital sander. And I just put a 60 grit piece of sandpaper around on it. Now, the only reason I'm sanding is because I want to do like a whitewash, and I don't want any of the seal that's left on this. I'm not trying to get it down to the bare wood, just to the place where I won't have the sealer on top. the top with the 60 grit sandpaper, and I purposely did it unevenly because I think when I whitewash it, that's going to look so good. Just to have that kind of uneven texture, it'll make the distressing look so natural. Anyway, I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to get the sides and the edges done and be back after that. If you are enjoying this video, do me a favor, go down and hit the like button. Not only do I appreciate it, but it tells YouTube to show my video to more people, and I really appreciate that because I'm trying to grow my channel. Thank you. I have got my sanding done. I did a little bit less sanding on the sides. It's still sanded, and of course the top I did a lot because you're going to see that more. And there's the other side. So I need to shore that one up. On this side, we have more of a mess. See this? Really bad. And then this one is also loose, and the one on the bottom is also loose. We've got the top drawer that is gonna stay here. Then I need to put a piece of probably like an MDF type thing, nothing fancy, that sits right across here so I can set 2 baskets here, and then another piece right here because the bottom, as you see, is there's nothing. Okay, and this, I mean, this is not an expensive little dresser. In fact, if I turn it around, the back is just MDF, you see? Not worried about it. It's gonna be against the wall. You really won't see it. There was some water damage down here, which I sanded, and now you don't really see it anymore. I just want the structure to be sound because the rest I think is just going to look like it belongs. Okay, so let me go get my tools and see what I can do to shore up those braces. Before I go any further, I did decide to take 240 grit sandpaper and just go over the top and the 2 sides lightly, just because I was using a 60, and just in case I have any rough little spots. I'm going to do that right now. All right, I just did the 240 grit sandpaper, so of course it did take off a little more, but it is so smooth. Oh my gosh, super smooth. I'm gonna have to wipe it off with a damp cloth. And I just did the parts that will really be showing in the sides. And the only thing I did on the back is just this little edge right here. You know, I don't want it to be rough and everything else look good. I don't know what I'll do with that. I mean, I guess I could just paint it white because it sure is ugly. And again, not that anyone is going to see it. Okay, time to clean it off, and then we will work on the repairs. So I've got my wood glue here, and I'm going to go ahead and get these guys situated and let them dry a little bit, and then I will definitely come back with my brad nailer and take care of that because I want to make sure it's really, really stable, and that especially for the top drawer, well, even for the others, because the baskets, once they're full, they're going to carry some weight, so we got to be careful about that. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this part. It's raining. I can't push this out too far. I'll try. It's all right here. Well, hopefully you'll see it. All right, I think I'm gonna have to go get some clamps, you guys. They're not staying. All right, I've got 2 of them on this side. I'm gonna need another one on that side, but I only have 2 of these. So I'll have to wait till these are a little bit more secure, and then I'll let it go. This one is definitely starting to set up, so it's not going anywhere. While that's happening, I think I'm gonna start some painting, you know, around the outside, because that way that can be drying while I move on. I like to keep going. I'm gonna use the Rust-Oleum chalked paint in the linen white color. This is the ultra matte. I'm also going to be using a mister. I don't know if you can see it, hopefully. Yeah, there it is. And this will keep the paint wet, and for whitewashing you want to water down your paint. So I'm going to be spraying this as I paint to get just the exact look I want. If it gets too watery, I'll add more paint. If it's not watery enough or thin enough, I'll add more of this. And then I'm actually going to use a brush I haven't opened yet. It's from DIYS. I do have these in my Amazon store. My daughter actually bought me this set for Christmas a couple years ago, and I got to tell you, I love them. And this with this little ball on the end, this is going to be nice for painting a bigger surface. So I am very excited to use this one. I've used other ones and I've been very happy with them. It's got a really nice, not stiff, but firm brush. And I think that's going to look nice because I don't mind if it shows texture when I'm whitewashing. Because again, driftwood, reclaimed wood, that whole coastal look, it's not supposed to look brand new. By the way, I'm on social media. You can find me on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and TikTok. All my links are down in the description box. Come on over, say hi, and if you ever make anything that maybe I inspired you to create, send me a picture. I would love to see it. I'm going to do this the same way that I did the front of that drawer, so I'm just going to go through this pretty quickly. I'm just whitewashing. Now, I am not an expert, and this was super easy to do. I think anybody can actually accomplish this. Okay, I'm going to work some more. Okay, so just a quick look at how it is so far. I've got the one side. I'll probably do a little bit of a touch-up. And now the top. So it's looking really good, and we'll just keep moving on. Just wanted to give you a quick progress report here. And it started raining again, so I need to be super careful. Luckily, I'm doing a whitewash, so it's not like thick paint that will get really humid and not dry well. Alrighty, so it's time to attach the broken pieces with my brad nailer. Did paint first because I'm impatient and I wanted to do it. I will just fill in the little holes and then touch up the paint. No big deal. Okay guys, so we're going to take our brad nailer now and reinforce. I did a couple practice ones. Gonna have to fill that in. Brand new at doing this. My first time using it, literally. There we go. Okay, so this top one is reinforced now. I'm going to do the same thing with where all of these braces are for where the drawers were. I'm going to do that off camera. Okay, I've got my wood filler, and I have made, you know, quite a few holes because I'm new at this. And I was trying to line it up with this piece underneath, and there's no way to see it. We will literally use the wood filler here, and then I will go ahead and use my putty knife. Make sure I'm getting pretty good coverage here. And then when it dries a little bit, we will sand that off. Okay, I'm going to fill all the holes now. So I just took this Zinsser Bullseye 123 primer. It's white, and I did it on just the inside. So I just wanted to show you, I've got all of the holes filled and, you know, painted back over, and it's just a really nice whitewash. And then here's the other side. So now I just need to cut my pieces of MDF and paint them white and then attach them to the bottom and the middle shelf there, and then I can put my drawer back in. Unfortunately, I ordered the baskets and I don't think they're gonna make it in time for the video, so I will show you some pictures of what it would look like. I'll try to, maybe I can superimpose it. We'll see how good my editing skills are. Anyway, I just want to show you where I am so far. I thought I was going to use some really thin MDF, but I remembered that I had these thicker ones that I was going to make some porch signs out of. So I just cut it to the measurement that I needed. It was already 12 inches wide, or deep, which was exactly what I needed. So I just cut it to 21 inches. I made 2 of them. I only took 1 board to do it and even had some to spare. And it was already painted white. It just doesn't get any better than that. Just showing you now how I'm putting them in on those little braces. And that could not have been easier. That could have been a much bigger job. But fortunately, I keep things. And so see, sometimes keeping things in your stash really pays off like it did this time. Speaking of my stash, I had these cute little knobs that I got from the Dollar Tree of all places, and they were perfect for this dresser. So I added them to the existing holes in the drawer. Before I do the final reveal, I'm going to make 2 really super fast and easy DIYs to stage on top of this dresser. So let's do that right now. And don't forget to stay to the end so you can see the final reveal of everything. Thrift flip, I've got this really pretty bowl that has these blue flowers, leaves, and there's actually some white ones that are tall, and I don't know why I have it at this angle. That was a mistake. Anyway, I'm just going to take everything out of the bowl. Those are the lighter ones that I took out. And then I'm going to also remove that floral foam. And it was really put in there very hodgepodgey, I guess. So it was kind of hard to get it all out, which I finally did. And then I took the bowl and washed it. And now I'm going to clean it off with some alcohol too, just to make sure, you know, it did come from a thrift shop. Now I'm going to use all this Waverly paint, crystal, ocean, and plaster. I do end up adding pool as well. This is an inspiration from my friend Leonette from DIY Beauty on Purpose, and of course she's in this collaboration too. She made this bowl, which I will link down below, and she made it look like the feeling of the ocean, and I love that idea, and I thought this was the perfect bowl. So I'm just taking each color with kind of a chippy brush and just randomly putting it on, not covering, just kind of wherever, leaving spaces. So I'm using the darker one first, which is gorgeous. I think that was the ocean. And then I'm going to take the plaster and I'm just going to randomly paint, and you can already see like foam, water, waves, you know, it's just there. There's like a movement in it. I absolutely love this so much. And I got to tell you, it was kind of relaxing to do. You just don't want to get heavy-handed. You can always go back over and add more, but I just kept adding. And then I went in and I added the next color, which was the crystal. And then eventually I decided I think it needs a little bit more light, but I didn't want to do more plaster. So that's when I decided to add in the pool color by Waverly. These colors are gorgeous. I love them so much. And it kind of just blended in places, and it subdued the deeper blue. Oh gosh, you guys, it's so pretty. I didn't do the very bottom. I don't know, because there's no reason to, and I didn't want to have to deal with that. So now I'm just kind of touching up wherever I think it needs a little more. And I'm going to use the ink color, which is basically black from Waverly. I'm going to paint the entire inside. That way you won't see those little pieces that wouldn't come off of that foam. I'm going to take a clear coat by Krylon, and I took it outside and I painted inside and out to seal it. And now I'm taking these flowers because they're light and springy, and I'm not going to use foam. I'm just going to bend them. I'm going to snip them off of the stems, and then I'm going to bend them and just kind of position them, you know, just any way I like. You can do this however you want to do it. And I'm just gonna have them draping over the side. And you guys, I love this one. You can change out the flowers. It's so pretty, and I definitely feel the ocean. You'll have to let me know what you think. And thank you, Leonette, for the inspiration. This is one of my favorite pieces. I made this a while ago, and I just never made a video with it because it didn't fit other things I was doing. And this was perfect to go with this furniture flip because I can style it on there. And you will see this, you know, all done, styled at the very end on the little dresser. And oh, you guys, it's so beautiful. It was so easy to do. You could take any bowl or vase and do something like this. Anyway, I just love it, and I really hope you do too. This DIY, I've got this really cute jar from the Dollar Tree. I love the way this one looks. I'm just kind of cleaning it off with a little bit of alcohol. And then I have this burlap that I got at Walmart, and I'm going to measure out a piece that will fit all the way around. And then I'm going to cut both sides because I don't want those edges. I want to be able to fray it, and I have to cut off the edges to do that. And it was also a little bit too thick for this jar. I've also got these seashells I got at the Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to take this burlap and I'm going to pull the strands so that it looks very frayed on both sides. And then I'm going to wrap it around my jar, and I'm going to hot glue it to the jar and to itself. That way it'll stay in place. And I just love that look. It's so cute. It looks very beachy. And then after I secure that onto the jar, I'm going to take this ribbon that I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, and it's perfect for a coastal. I'm just going to cut a piece, wrap it around, and hot glue it to the burlap. And that'll just be a nice little embellishment to give it even more of a coastal flair and give it the colors that I want that go in our bedroom, which is a coastal themed decor. Next, I'm going to take my seashells, and I'm actually going to put them all inside of the jar because you can see through it a little bit on the bottom and on the top. But I am going to take one, and I'm going to hot glue it right to the front of the jar and right in the center of the ribbon. It's so cute, you guys. I just love that little extra touch. I think it's so fun. Next, I'm going to take some white nautical rope. It was 3-stranded, and I took it down to 1, and I'm just going to wrap it around the threads of the jar because I'm not going to use the lid, and I want to cover that up, and I think that adds to the whole coastal vibe. And then I've got these, you know, from the foam brushes, I always save the little sticks, and I'm going to use some warm buff paint by Apple Barrel, and I'm going to paint them. And then I'm going to take some antique wax by Waverly and distress them, and I want them to kind of look like driftwood. That's what I'm going for anyway. Once I finish that, they will go inside of the jar along with some really pretty dried flowers that my friend Jenny from Loving Moments Creating gave me. And I think they just look so beachy, so cute, and I really hope you guys like it. I absolutely love this one. And it was super easy to make. And now for the big reveal. This is the ocean bowl, which I love. Came out so pretty. And there is the coastal vase that I made. Here they are on top of the dresser. Just beautiful. I absolutely love the colors. So relaxing. And now here we have the entire little dresser. Now this is before I have the baskets. I did figure out a way to make it look like they were there. You'll see that in a second. This is what the baskets look like. I got 4 of them, 2 for each of the shelves. And just a reminder, this is what the dresser looked like when we first started. Oh gosh, not great. And here is the final look with my editing skills superimposing those baskets. You guys, I love it. I hope you do too. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you, and I want you to know that you are a blessing to me. I have a few other videos right here and right here that I think you will really like. Click on them now and hit them to your watch later. And then go watch the playlist. And I hope you will really enjoy them. I will see you in my next video. Bye.